CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, makers of the new Accord SEI four-door sedan. RCA, creators of video technology that excites the senses. And by Team Xerox, the right products and right people, all working together.
Both teams back on the field prior to the start of the second half. The score tied at 10, and we'll review the statistics for you. The Saints have the edge in the running department, and the Packers have the edge in the passing department so far. And the one turnover turned into a touchdown for Green Bay.
And Saints do have the edge also in the possession time.
So they're ahead of the game in what they wanted to do, but the score is tied at 10, and they had to come back to do it in the final 4 seconds of play. Some other statistics in the first half of this ball game. Packers have had 12 first down plays, ran on 4, passed on 8. Saints have had 17 first down plays. They ran on 11 and passed on 6. We might take one more look at the touchdown that wasn't right at the end of the first half.
You can see the quarterback pumps the ball. Now he lays it up high. The ball's coming down high. Jeff Groth, number 86, is going to go up for it. He goes up and catches it at his highest point, tucks it in. Now it looks like right. Gosh, I don't know how you can't call that a touchdown. But again, see, I'm not sitting right next to that football, and from here that looks like a touchdown.
But the officials ruled otherwise. The Saints had to settle for the field goal with 4 seconds left to play in the half and the tie. So Albert Del Greco, who accounted for 3 of the points with a 41-yard field goal, ready to kick off. Tyrone Anthony, number 22, and Kenny Duckett, number 83, are deep for the Saints. This is where Del Greco had his big moment in the Sugar Bowl last year, kicking 3 field goals for Auburn to beat Michigan. Duckett at the 10, 15, 20, and Duckett out of bounds at the 25-yard line. College football next weekend on CBS. We've got a big one for you in the Pac-10. The number 1 ranked team in the land, the Washington Huskies, who won impressively yesterday, going against the USC Trojans, and a Rose Bowl berth at stake, at least for USC.
That's such a great game on the West Coast, and it's really considered the grandfather of all bowl games. It's just a great, spectacular event, and having had the opportunity to participate in it and prepare a team for a game such as this Washington-USC game, it's really an exciting time on the West Coast.
It's at the Coliseum. 1st and 10, Saints ball at their 24-yard line. Earl Campbell and Hokie Gaijan will start out in the running back positions. Earl, who's had a good rest in the first half, saw a little bit of action, carries to the 30-yard line.
Boy, he takes it up in there, doesn't he? You give him a little crack, and he's got that 240 pounds up in there flying.
Well, Bum said yesterday regarding Earl that he thinks he can add 3 or 4 years to his career, and Earl seems to agree by having to share the time with George Rogers. This guy has taken an awful lot of beating in his career.
In this kind of offense, too, you know, they're going to run the ball an awful lot, so therefore they're going to get hit a lot. In dividing the time, they just spread those hits over 2 different bodies, Frank.
2nd down 4 for the Saints at the 30-yard line. Todd taking a long time, maybe checking off on this play. Again, going to Campbell. He is met at the line of scrimmage by the nose tackle, Terry Jones.
Great play by Terry Jones. Great play. He must have worked his way around behind the center, John Hill, number 62 at that time. That was really a nice play. You know, he's an industrial arts major in college, Frank, and his hobby is woodworking and remote model cars and that kind of stuff. His teacher, his wife, rather, is a teacher on the faculty at the University of Alabama.
He was hobbled by injuries all of last year, and of course sharing time now with Bill Neal, the former New York Giant. Score tied at 10. Saints 3 out of 6, 50% in the 3rd down conversion department. Wayne Wilson in the lineup now in this 3rd and 7 situation. Groth pulls down the pass, but short of the 1st down marker at the 32-yard line. So Groth a little disgusted that he didn't get the first, and that the Saints will have to punt.
That was a real clever little route that he ran there. It was really clever. Too bad he fell down trying to catch that thing. He ran in there and ran a move to the inside, then delayed and reverse pivoted and came outside. Clever.
Here's Hansen, who's gotten off some moonshots. He even looks a little bit like Russell Erxleben, the man he replaced.
He does, doesn't he?
That long blonde mane. Tom Flynn deep. Well, Hansen got off a 59-yarder on his last punt on the fly, going in this direction.
That's a return type kick.
Flynn fumbles it. Who got it? Scramble at the 28-yard line. Packers recover. Saints had just the one man down there, and the Packers peeled several back quickly and managed to fall on the football. Think they were crowding Mr. Flynn a little bit there?
No, they gave him room to catch the football, but it was a low kick, and he got there under real quick. See, he's looking at the ball. He's getting ready to tuck it under. He gets the ball tucked. He's fumbled it before contact was made. Now the man makes the contact that looks like the New Orleans Saints guy has it. And then Murphy, 37, comes in there. Now they're getting in there, biting and scratching and kicking in there, trying to get the football.
Looked like the rookie Darryl Jones, number 43, came up with the recovery, and we have a timeout.
The Honda Accord hatchback can handle the hairpin at Sears Point. The S's at Lime Rock. The straightaway at Daytona. Even the loop in Chicago.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Miller Time begins here, where Miller High Life waits for the finest ingredients to reach their golden best. Then we go beyond ingredients and use the finest brewing skills, making sure Miller High Life contains no additives and no preservatives. So come your Miller Time, you get nothing but the fresh, smooth taste of just pure beer. Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
They've already done the hard part. All we have to do is vote.
First and 10, Packers ball at their 26-yard line after the 39-yard punt, the fumble by Flynn, and the recovery. And keep in mind that the big day is coming up on Tuesday. I know you've already cast your ballot.
I voted an absentee ballot last Tuesday. I'm going hunting this week, and I'll be out of the area, so I had to vote.
Well, it's a big day for all Americans on Tuesday, and we hope that you'll participate in your heritage. Ellis out across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Gary Ellis on the carry. Yeah, we were talking to Greg about Lynn Dickey and wondering the other day why Greg doesn't use the shotgun at all with such a good passer as Dickey in these long yardage situations.
Well, Lynn Dickey doesn't like it. That's why he doesn't use it. He just doesn't like it because he doesn't like to watch the snap come back to him, Frank. He likes to be right up there under the center, take the snap, and be looking downfield rather than watching for the ball.
So they've never used it in Green Bay, at least with Lynn Dickey. Second down, 5. Packers at the 32-yard line. Delayed handoff. Ivory, 35, 40. Eddie Lee to the 45 and goes down. Thought he should have had more. Russell Gary, number 20, finally coming up from the strong safety to make the stop on Eddie Lee Ivory.
Now watch Eddie Lee Ivory, number 40. He's going to set to one side to draw a play, follow Jesse Clark, number 33, in there. He didn't need his block. He broke it to the outside. Now he comes up, shakes and breaks on Gray. Russell Gary does get him down, number 20. Waymer almost had to make the play there at the corner position, number 44.
That's a 14-yard pickup for Eddie Lee on his 7th carry of the day. He has 47 yards, which makes him the leading rusher in the ball game. And the Packers continue to stick to the ground attack. Ivory alternating with Gary Ellis, and that time Ellis on the carry will take it to midfield. The Packers trying to do a little ball control of their own.
Right, you know, New Orleans hasn't been super against the run. They rank 25th in the National Football League, giving up 156 yards a game. So you can see why they're trying to get after him with the running game a little bit.
Packers, or rather the Cowboys, got a touchdown pass from Gary Hogaboom to Tony Hill to move ahead in that game with the Giants. As you look at some of the other scores, most of these in the third period of play. Second down, 6 for the Green Bay Packers from midfield. Score tied at 10 here in the third period. They had Jackson coming, but he saw it and got it off to Ivory. And that's good for the first down. Jackson came through virtually untouched, but Dickey really picked it up quick.
There was no one assigned to pass protect Jackson. He was a hot receiver key, and the running back goes out, and the quarterback and the running back watch the linebacker. And if he comes now right here, see the linebacker coming right there? Dickey was watching him too, and if he came, they were just going to dump the ball off. That's what's called a hot receiver. It has nothing to do with temperature.
And the temperature here is always the same, 72 degrees.
That's always the same in here.
Nice place to play or watch football for that matter. Packers continue to move the football. First and 10 at the 43-yard line of the New Orleans Saints. Jefferson is in motion. Jefferson is yet to catch a pass. Here's some razzle-dazzle. Lofton on the reverse. 40, 35, 30. Lofton down to the 20 and out of bounds near the 15. Oh, how many times has that paid off big for Green Bay? James Lofton on the reverse.
Now watch Lofton coming back on this now. See, he's outside as a wide receiver. Now he breaks back. The ball has been tossed to the tailback 31. It's inserted. Now he's the runner. And this guy can run. He, so far this year, had carried the ball 5 times, but never making a successful run as this one. Now there's big Ron Holstrom, number 65, at darn near 300 pounds out in front of him, Frank.
That's a 26-yard pickup for Lofton. And a Green Bay first down at the Saints 17-yard line. Dickey brings him up with Jefferson wide right up at the top of your screen. And Lofton split left down at the bottom. Dickey to throw. He's looking for Jefferson.
Pass interference.
There's the flag. John Jefferson, who is still looking for his first touchdown of the year, which is rather amazing as we're in the 10th game of the year.
You know, I question this call. First off, the ball was not...
Was it catchable?
I don't think the ball was catchable. Plus, the man was in a bump and run position. What happened, he must have maintained contact with the receiver beyond the 5-yard chuck area.
It's like the Cowboys and the Giants are even at 1 injury apiece in Dallas. Danny White out with a shoulder. Lawrence Taylor is out with a shoulder and neck injury. Well, they're going to call it defensive holding instead of pass interference.
Now, as you watch down here at the top of your screen, you'll see the defender, see him right there, was holding him as he came off the ball. Good call by the official. It was defensive holding, not pass interference. Good call by the official.
Dave Waymer, number 44, was guilty. The difference, of course, instead of having the first down at the 1-yard line, the penalty for holding on defense just 5 yards. It is an automatic first down, and the Packers will have the 1st and 10 from the 12. Saints fans not happy with the decision of the officials. Dickey wants to come right back and get 6. Looking in the end zone, and there's another flag dropped on Waymer. This time, Lofton was the intended receiver. Waymer, a 2nd-round draft pick out of Notre Dame 4 years ago, and their most experienced defensive back.
You know, Tim Huffman, number 74, is in playing right tackle now.
Pass interference, defense, number 44, first down.
There it is. Now, Waymer, you see him right there in a crouch position, number 44. Now he's going to come inside now, and he reverse pivots and goes back out. Now, let's watch his left hand. Evidently, he put his left hand on him and hooked him. Boy, that was sort of a hairy call.
Yes, very close.
If you're going to get pass interference called, take the guy down, you know.
Garcett gets the crowd even more incensed. First down from the 9, and Eddie Lee Ivory will carry it to the 6 before he is shoved back by a half a dozen of the black shirts from New Orleans.
Frank, did you notice the move that Lofton used, coming in, then delaying and reversing and going back out? I think Bill Walsh, when he was with the Cincinnati Bengals years ago, really introduced that kind of pass pattern to the National Football League.
Tough to cover.
It is very tough to cover.
Especially you've got a guy like Lofton running it, who has everything going for him. 2nd down. Goal to go. Ball spotted just outside the 6-yard line. Lofton to the left at the bottom of your screen, and Jefferson in the slot just inside of him. Jesse Clark gets a yard to the 5. Saints defense really stiffening down here now. See Derlin Moore, number 75. It's a big day for him. The city council voted it Derlin Moore Day in New Orleans. A great community participant, this man.
He really is an outstanding guy. You know, he's the Saints' all-time game player in terms of number of games, Frank. This is his 160th game, believe it or not, as a Saint.
Old Oklahoma Sooner and a very respected member of this community. 3rd down, goal to go from the 5.
You know, he wasn't even recruited to Oklahoma. He walked on and asked for a tryout, and eventually he earned a scholarship. Shows you what you can do if you make up your mind to do something.
Crowd doing its best to distract the Packer offense. On 3rd and 5. Dickey to throw it over the middle, and fighting into the end zone for the touchdown. His 2nd of the day will be Kaufman. Paul Kaufman, who scored 2 last week against Detroit, gets his second today against the Saints and puts the Packers in the lead.
Now watch Kaufman right there in the middle of your screen, number 82. He's going to come off to the inside. See him come off to the inside, just slant inside, look for the ball. He's being pushed right there by the linebacker, but he just goes ahead and muscles his way into the end zone. Glenn Red, number 58, making a play. Just an easy little slant pattern.
Kaufman, one of the best lines this week, said he was so effective against Detroit last week because he's slower than what most people think.
They tend to overestimate his speed.
Del Greco hammers home the extra point. 8 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in the third period. It's the Packers 17 and the Saints 10. Big play on this 73-yard scoring drive was the 26-yard reverse by James Lofton, which gave the Packers great shape, plus a couple of penalties down near the end, one for defensive holding, the other for pass interference. And Dickey to Kaufman is good for 2 touchdowns for the second straight week. Del Greco to kickoff. Anthony is deep. So is Duckett. Kenny Duckett at the goal line. Out to the 10, 15, hit at the 20-yard line, or just short of it. And spins his way to about the 20.
Guy Prather, first and 10. Excuse me, Frank. Guy Prather, number 51, did a real nice job of covering that kickoff. Boy, was he flying.
Got another doubleheader coming up for you on CBS. Packer fans will see your team in action against Minnesota. You Saint fans watching will see your club against Atlanta. Will be in the first game. In the second game, how about Eric Dickerson versus Walter Payton? That sound like a pretty good matchup?
What a challenge for both defenses, that is. Yeah.
Or Dallas St. Louis, depending on what where you happen to be. That's the toughest division right now. Of course, the closest in the NFC. 2 games separating from top to bottom. Back to live action. Todd, little swing pass out to Tyrone Anthony. Anthony is a third-round draft pick, rookie running back from North Carolina, who could do a little bit of everything for Bum Phillips. He can return kicks, he catches the ball well, runs the football well, and has a big future, according to the Saints.
Bum really likes him. You can tell that. He pointed him out on the practice field Friday when we were standing out there in the rain. He said, see that guy? I like him. He can do everything.
I was watching from inside at the time where it was dry.
You know, he can also throw the ball. I wonder if they have a halfback option pass in the game plan.
Second down. Saints need 5 for the first down at their 25, following the 5-yard pickup. On the play to Anthony. Pitch to Hokie Gaijan. Gaijan tries the left side. He's got the first. Across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Old, reliable Hokie Gaijan. For an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Frank, the Minnesota Vikings now hold the lead on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Darren Nelson did it on the sweep. The lineman pull, opened the way, Nelson in, and now it is the Vikes 17, the Bucs 14. Back to Frank.
Remember Darren Nelson, don't you?
Oh, you bet. I had him in an all-star game. He's about as gifted an athlete as you'll ever find. Not real big, but he has the great feet and great instincts in running.
Hasn't quite exploded yet for Minnesota, but he is due. First and 10, Saints from the 30-yard line. Richard Todd looks long. He's got Anthony at the 50-yard line. 45 and down to the 40. Tyrone Anthony, the rookie running back, takes the toss right on the numbers from Richard Todd, and the Saints are in business with a first down at the 40.
Here he is, Richard Todd now. Richard Todd coming back on this one now. I think it's coming from right there. We've got a post pattern going down in here, and they didn't pick him up coming on the outside. Take a look. Here he goes coming on the outside. See, he dropped and played zone. Here he out there going down there. The post pattern took the corner man out of there, and there he is all alone. Now Tom Flynn, 41, comes over to help make the play.
That's good for a 32-yard pickup. The officials mark it at the Green Bay 37-yard line. Packers showing a red dog here as they move up to the line of scrimmage, and Richard Todd again may be checking off at that point. The give is to Anthony, and Anthony to the 36-yard line. How about that? You got the Heisman guys, you got Rodgers, you got Campbell, you got Hokie Gaijan, and here's Tyrone Anthony, third-round draft pick this year, getting the call.
I tell you, if I were a running back in this situation, I don't think I'd ever get my motor running enough to really get the pulse of the game, though. You know, Frank?
Well, he's got 7 of them, and he apparently is going to use them all.
I'd have a hard time taking the best one out. Of course, I might have a hard time figuring out who the best one was.
Maybe your biggest problem. Second down 9 for the Saints at the Packer 36-yard line. We got Anthony in the slot off to the right-hand side, and Rodgers
here audibly
is the tailback. Once again, the long count play for Growth. Back there defending for the Green Bay Packers was Tim Lewis, number 26.
He was forced to unload that ball off balance, and he couldn't get it to him because they ran a lot of pressure up inside. Now you can see that the ball was not going to be completed. Now Growth, number 86, recognized that it was a possible interception ball, and he just wanted to make sure that it was not. Heads-up play by a fine, smart wide receiver.
3rd and 9 for the Saints at the Packer 36.
Great coverage by Timmy Lewis, their number 1 pick from a year ago. He had him covered like a blanket, did he not?
He did indeed, and he, as we mentioned before, is the guy that's the pick they got in the Bruce Clark deal, so it's paid off handsomely for the Green Bay Packers. Todd with the fake pass, the give to Wilson. Wilson, 35, down to the 30, and he'll be close for the first down at the 28-yard line. Maybe just, well, he stretched out, and maybe he got it. Let's see, depending again on where they mark it, as Mark Murphy, number 37, made the spot. Is that a variation of the old Statue of Liberty?
That is a variation of the Statue of Liberty. They've run it many different ways. I saw it on film last week when they ran it against Cleveland and broke it by using that man in motion.
Richard Todd looking on. Let's see if Tunney's going to call for the measurement here. Yes, they're going to bring in the change from the far side. 5 minutes, 7 seconds left to play, 3rd period. Packers leading the Saints 17-10. This was a 3rd down play. So a key measurement here as to whether or not they'll go for the field goal or not. And they are short. I think they'll go for it.
Now watch the running back right here come on behind the quarterback and take the old Statue of Liberty. You fans that watched football years ago have seen this in the old Notre Dame days. See this? There it is. Now he's coming around. He picks up the block by Stan Brock, number 67. Does a super job right there. He breaks back up inside and fights for the first down. Clever offensive play. A little imagination. Who said they're conservative around here, Frank?
I don't know. This would have been a 45-yard field goal had Bum Phillips elected to go for the field goal, but instead he is gonna go for it.
Which back do you give it to?
Well, that leaves you with one choice. Guyjon is in motion. They go to Earl Campbell, and loose football is recovered by the Green Bay Packers. However, he did not pick up enough yardage for the first down, so the ball would go over either way, I do believe.
Frank, I wonder why they didn't go straight ahead. They only needed 6 inches rather than slanting it off to the right. Good play by the defense. Good by the defense. Now watch the fullback now here, the one back. He's sliding. He's planning on going outside. George Cumbie, number 52, did a super job of getting there, and then 22, Mark Lee, came up and finished him off. I really believe they'd have been better off going right at him for that 6 inches.
Especially with a horse like Campbell. Timeout here at the Louisiana Superdome. Back in a moment. He's leading the Saints, and some of the fans booing during that timeout on that 4th down call by Bum Phillips. He did not elect to go the shortest distance straight up the middle, tried to slant it, and Campbell did not pick up the first. Packers 1st and 10 from their 28. Dickey comes back to Kaufman. That's good for 10 yards, and there's a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like holding, huh?
Holding against Green Bay.
Now we know the umpire's in the game.
Dickey has hit 11 out of 19 for 117 yards. So by what he's done over the last month, he's having a very modest afternoon so far.
Very modest. You've got to give the credit, though, to New Orleans defense. They're doing a good job.
Holding, 61, 10 yards, still first down.
We're in the 3rd period of play with 4 minutes and 43 seconds left. And the Green Bay Packers leading the Saints 17-10. Saints broke out of a 3-game losing streak last week against Cleveland. They're 4-5, and they really need a victory to stay alive in this playoff thing. There's another flag as Jesse Clark makes the handoff, and Wilkes corrals him rather quickly at the 20-yard line.
That was a quick count play, and evidently somebody was quicker than the count.
So back-to-back penalties against Green Bay. Shoving back another 5 yards. Let's bring you up to date. San Diego leading the Colts in the 3rd period of play. Is Buffalo going to win its first?
Number 67 declined. 2nd down.
Mark Malone's having a big day for Pittsburgh as they lead Houston. I don't know when the Oilers ever got away.
It's good to see Mark Malone get going. You know, he was a really highly touted quarterback coming out of Arizona State, and he had the bad knee injury there the one year, and he's played wide receiver for him. He can play running back. Now he is a quarterback.
2nd down. Packers need 18 for the first as they're back at the 20-yard line following the 2 penalties. go with the inside handoff and pick up 7 or 8 of those, as Dickey that time faked the pitch outside and gave to Jesse Clark, number 33. Russell Gary gets up a little slow, number 20. May have hurt his hand.
As you can see, they're going to fake it here. He's going to reverse pivot on around and hand it to the wingback coming from this way and try to get it back up there and counter the flow of the linebackers. Here we go. Now watch him turn around. Watch 31. He makes the fake there. Here comes the handoff up inside. He turns up. There he is, Jackson up inside, but he doesn't get enough for the first down.
Back to live action. It is 3rd and 10 for the Packers from their 28. Straight handoff. Ellis finds some running room. 30, 35, got the first. 40, 45. Ellis still on his feet and finally dragged out of bounds in front of the Saints bench at the New Orleans 48-yard line.
That's that draw play where you hand it off behind the quarterback rather than in front of the quarterback. And Ellis did a lot of nice individual running and a super job of straight arm here now.
Pretty good call. 3rd and 10.
Focus your attention now. 31. He slides over there. Nice block by 33. Jackson. Here now, watch him use the right hand. Look at that, right on the helmet. He gets upfield now. He's heading for that first down. He's made the first down. He's making a miss. Poor tackling as well. Good job on his part.
24-yard pickup for Ellis and a Packer first down on the 3rd and 10 play at the Saint 48-yard line. Saints had 4 misses on that play. Here's Eddie Lee Ivory fighting his way to the 45, just inside the 45-yard line of New Orleans.
Frank, I said Jackson on that. That was a nice block by Jesse Clark that did a real nice job of leading through on that draw play.
Pickup of 3, called it 2nd and 7 for the Packers. Doing a pretty good job here in the second half of ball control as they're taking the play away from the Saints in that department. Saints had the ball 17 minutes to 12 plus for the Packers in the first half. 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd period. Dickey. Protection is good. Lofton, 40, 35. Lofton to the 30, 20. Out of bounds, 16-yard line. Like a gazelle. Boy, he'll give you that hip and he'll take it away.
This guy is a real racehorse. Now watch him at the top of your screen. The running back is going to clear it out. He's going to go up. He's going to delay, turn to the outside. Now he's going to come back underneath as it was cleaned out. Underneath the linebackers, he makes the catch. You can see the linebackers trying to recover. Now they're in a foot race trying to catch this guy, and that is tough because he can really fly. You just, many times you make a wrong angle of approach to get to that guy because he is so fast.
29-yard pickup. Dirt Winston finally making contact. 1st and 10 Packers at the Saint 16-yard line. Dickey for Jefferson. Still looking for the first touchdown of the year is JJ. Dave Waymer was back there defending. Waymer, who got nailed for a couple of penalties.
Did you see what Waymer did then? He pointed to the official and gave him throw the hanky on that one. He's a competitor, this David Waymer, out of Notre Dame. He likes to play pass defense.
Next Sunday on the NFL Today, we've seen these guys. Hannafin's Cardinals up, and away. Lomax has turned into quite a quarterback.
He really has. Rod Dowhauer, the coordinator, has done a good job of the offense. They really have their motors running right now.
Well, Hannafin's done a good job building through the draft and certainly paying dividends for the Cardinals, tied with the Cowboys today. Lofton. Another flag. This one thrown at about the 10-yard line. You believe they got Waymer again?
I don't know.
Maybe he shouldn't have said anything to the official last time.
Or Russell Gary. I'm not so sure. No, offense.
Offensive pass interference against the Green Bay Packers.
There's Derlin Moore, number 74. David Waymer, 44. They're going to discuss this situation. You know something, though, as you move the ball back in this area, Frank, important
Pass
point.
interference, offense, number 80. 10 yards, still 2nd down.
What happened?
Lofton.
Here's an isolation. See, now Lofton on the right side of your screen. Now focus on him. Waymer, number 44, is covering him inside, trying to take it away inside. He shoves him off right there, using his hands to shove away, and that is what they called. He used his left hand to push Waymer away from him. You know what happens, though, Frank? Sometimes you just give Green Bay a little more room for those great receivers to operate now.
Well, they move it back to the 26, where it's 2nd and 20. Jackson coming on strong on the dog. Dickey for Lofton. Had made his move on Johnny Poe and gotten away, and had the pass been there, that would have been 6 points.
It would have been 6 points. He had him on the corner pattern. And I talked to Johnny Poe the other day about covering these guys, and he says, Coach, every week I line up, I've got to cover a good one. Now, watch it. Here he is. He's coming off to the inside. He wants Poe to turn to the inside. See him do a little move to the inside? Now he's got him turned. He comes back to the corner. Just missed it by inches, the game of inches. But he wanted to take him inside, get Poe's shoulders going inside, then come back and go to the corner and force Poe to make that deep turn, which he did.
3rd and 20, and they take Hoffman out. And now you've got the 3 wide receivers set with Epps in the slot off to the left. Jefferson to the right, Epps in motion. And on 3rd and 20, Dickey trying to get it away. Hits John Jefferson at about the 18-yard line, but way short of the yardage needed for the first down. Whitney Paul was there on coverage, and that's John Jefferson's first catch of the day.
What he did, though, was really give him a better percentage chance of kicking the field goal. James Gaithers, number 97, was really coming that time. Their number 2 pick from this year.
So that will bring on Del Greco. The line of scrimmage is the 17. They'll put it down at the 24-yard line, which will make it a 34-yard effort for Del Greco, who is already hit from 41 yards out. Good. Another perfecto.
Another perfecto. You know, that guy was a fine kicker in college.
At Auburn, and he's automatic with the Packers so far.
You work day and night to give a parched land a drink of water. Now comes your time.
To Miller Time.
And Miller Time means it's time for the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. The rich, smooth taste of Miller beer is what you have in mind.
Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
The EPA figures say you can get 49 miles out of a gallon of gas. If you aren't getting this kind of mileage from your gasoline, maybe you should change your brand of car. We recommend you try the car made for high gas mileage, the Honda Civic CRX HF. The right car for your gasoline.
Packers looking for their 2nd straight victory after 7 successive losses. They won opening day against St. Louis, then dropped to 7 in a row. Well, they were in all 7 of those ball games. Del Greco to kick off. Duckett on the right of your screen, and Anthony, the rookie, on the left.
Who do you think's going to make the tackle on this, Frank? I'll pick Cliff Lewis, 56, or Creighton, 51.
The odds are pretty good. Anthony at the 6-yard line. Anthony bursts across the 25 up to the 30. We've got a marker.
Contact was made.
Now Dorsey was in on the stop, 99, who's another Green Bay rookie. And let's see what the discussion is about. Scott Pallure in the middle of it, the linebacker, and the penalty will go against the Saints on the return for blocking above the back.
Scott Pallure's brother is a quarterback at Dallas, right?
He's the 3rd-string quarterback for the Cowboys.
Illegal block, number 53, 10 yards, first down.
Well, they're trying to get something going here in New Orleans. The fans are not cheering the penalty, but just trying to make some noise, maybe get the Saints offensive unit inspired. Poor field position following the penalty saddles them with the first down back at the 13-yard line. Todd got all the time in the world, finally going to run it after the 15 and slides to a halt at the 17-yard line after a pickup of close to 5 yards on the play. For an NFL Today report, once again, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
2nd and 8 for the Giants against the Dallas Cowboys, and Phil Simms will throw a touchdown pass to Lionel Manuel, 7th-round draft choice out of Pacific, and now the Giants lead 13-7. Let's go back to Frank.
Here in New Orleans, we've got 1:10 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Packers leading the Saints 20-10, 2nd and 5 from the 18-yard line. And Hokie Gaijan carries it across the 20 to the 21. He'll be a little short of the first down. Terry Jones, 63, and Randy Scott, 55. Making the stop. There's the clock ticking away, the final 50 seconds of quarter number 3. Other scores.
Eagles are coming back, Frank.
Yes, looks like it.
Don't count those guys out.
Minnesota doing a pretty good job today. And Raiders-Bears game has been interesting with the quarterback injuries that Los Angeles has sustained. Both Hum and Wilson have been hurt in that game. Hokie Gaijan driving for the first down and picks it up at the 25 on the 3rd and a yard and a half. You know, Bum really does have a wealth of riches back there, and it would be a little frustrating as to who to play.
It would be. You know, John Meekum said in regard to Hokie Gaijan, he's as important to this franchise as Doug Atkins was when we first started our program here years ago.
On 1st and 10, Todd for Tyrone Young downfield. Flynn intercepts. Flynn at the 25, 30, 35. Tom Flynn up to the 43-yard line. That's his 4th interception in 2 ball games, and he had a fumble recovery earlier in this ball game, so he personally has accounted for 5 turnovers. Rookie 5th-round draft choice out of Pittsburgh.
Now you can see here he's going to go back. It's a flood pattern to the left of your screen. There's a guy taken out, a guy going to seam, and he elects to go deep down there, and the safety comes over and makes the play. Does a real nice job, Tommy Flynn. You can see why he intercepted 4 balls last week. Now he's on his 5th interception. Of course, they didn't give him credit for all 4. Now he's a running back. There comes the punt return ability. Chalky tries to make him miss. Gaijan makes the tackle.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, Packers 20, Saints 10. We pause for a word from your local station.
A Rose Bowl berth could be at stake when #1 ranked Washington battles Pac-10 rival USC in college football next Saturday on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Soldier, we know you, courageous and brave, the country you honored, the flag that you waved. Soldier, we thank you. On Veterans Day, you're the pride of America.
From the people at Coors to America's veterans.
You're the pride of today.
No matter how you play the game, a variety of moves can be made against you. The same holds true for your personal finances. At Colonial Savings, we have a variety of checking accounts that earn interest to fit your lifestyle and your game plan. Whether you write a lot of checks or just a few, maintain a large balance or a small one, we've got you covered. Colonial Savings, still setting the pace for you.
Our Congressman, Toby Roth, creating more jobs by helping American products find markets overseas. Architect of a 4-point program to save the family farm. Taking on the Defense Department when it spends $400 for a 70-cent light bulb. And writing the legislation to stop it. Working to make the government balance its checkbook the way the rest of us have to. Toby Roth, a tireless worker for northeastern Wisconsin. Our Congressman, Toby Roth, proven leadership for today and tomorrow.
Complete election night coverage Tuesday beginning at 6:30.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac Motor Car Division and your Cadillac dealer. Best of all, it's a Cadillac. Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. And by AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Final 15 minutes coming up at the Louisiana Superdome. The Packers leading the Saints 20-10. And after Flynn's interception, the Packers have a first down at their 44-yard line. Lynn Dickey, who now holds more Green Bay passing records than the great Bart Starr. At the throttle. Jefferson in motion. Dickey back to throw it. Being pressured. Gets off the screen, and Ellis can't handle it. Incomplete.
Ricky Jackson's upset, number 57, the linebacker on that. Ron Hallstrom, the great big horse, came out there, and it looked like he just grabbed him and pulled him to the ground on that screen pass, Frank.
They're getting back to Tom Flynn with the great job he's done the last couple of weeks. I guess there's got to be a credit to his defensive backfield coach, who's actually a rookie coach for the Packers, and Ken Riley.
Let's watch it. Tim Huffman, number 74, pass set right there. He's pass setting now. You can see Jackson right here come up to make the play. Now, right, Holstrom. Oh, geez, he did do that. He hooked at him, didn't he?
Oh, he really did.
No wonder he was upset.
2nd and 10 for the Packers at their 44-yard line. Looking for Jefferson. Got him. No. Couldn't hold it. Waymer stripped him of the football at the 44-yard line. Pass incomplete. Oh, Waymer's had a busy afternoon.
He has. He's a good football player, this guy is. There was some question if he had the speed to be a corner when he came out of college, but he has proved that he has the speed. That he thought he might be a safety type guy, but he's a good football player.
3rd and 10 upcoming for Green Bay. Crowd trying to get the Saints defense into it to hold him here. Dickey pumping it twice, intended for Jefferson over the middle. So 3 misfires. Surprised at all they put it up 3 times the way they've been running the football?
No, I'm not surprised. That's their philosophy, and they're sticking with it. They've moved the ball all year real well. This time they were trying to get the ball in there to Epps, number 83. No, Jefferson it was it not? Jefferson, yeah, 83. He just could not get it in there. Whitney Paul, number 51, who Bum considers one of the fine nickel pass defense linebackers in football.
Jitter Fields, who considers himself one of the fine punt returners.
They compare him favorably with Carl Roaches from Houston.
Scribner gets it away. Lousy kick, bounces at the 30. And Jitter takes it on the run at the 20, 25. And is knocked out of bounds at about that point. So the Saints will take it over at their 25-yard line with 14 minutes, 36 seconds left to play in the game.
Today's cars do things yesterday's cars didn't.
Please fasten seatbelt.
Their smaller, higher revving engines can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. The tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So listen to your car.
Exceeding recommended RPM.
It may be telling you something. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
The president of this electronics company has always believed that if you're fair with people, they'll be fair with you. And he knows the travelers for a company that goes out of their way to be fair. To help him control the rising costs of his company's medical insurance, the Travelers offered a flexible health, education, and fitness plan that showed him how to keep more of his employees healthy and on the job, in better shape, physically and financially. At the Travelers, we believe fairness is good business.
Well, the Saints haven't shown anything offensively here in the second half, so getting close to that time. 1st and 10 at their 25, and Todd comes out throwing long over the middle. Hobie Brenner, the tight end, couldn't hold it at the 50-yard line. Tried to reach back for it. He found the spot out there. He was in the clear. And the pass not on the money.
Hobie right there on your screens. He's coming off on the linebacker, Mike Douglas, 53. He slips in behind him. There's zone defense. Now he's in the zone in front of the safety. The ball's thrown back over his shoulder. He does a nice job of reversing around, but he couldn't hang on to it. Just over the wrong shoulder. We have a player down, Frank.
One of the Saints was shaken up on the play, and it looks like it was Chris Ward, the big left tackle, former New York Jet. Number 1 Joyce. We've got an injury timeout here at the Louisiana Superdome. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Ever since that summer job, way back then, you've dreamed of having your own El Dorado. Now you've realized your dream. Your 1985 El Dorado is a very special Cadillac with a special way of moving you like no other car. You were right all along. El Dorado is the car that dreams are made of.
Best of all, it's a Cadillac. Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, time is everything. drinkers come to us because we've been brewing in extra quality for the last 129 years. That's a lot of our time. But it's the reason you spend your time with us when you want the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Chris Ward, the starting left tackle, limping off the field. That's probably the last place that the Saints need an injury to that offensive line. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, though, it's 2nd and 10. Saints ball at their 25-yard line. They trail it 20 to 10. Todd looking downfield. Floats this one for Groth. Groth couldn't hold it. Credit to the Packers defense. The pass was right there, but Mark Murphy was there too, number 37. So what happens now, Dick, with Ward out of there? They don't have many healthy people left.
They have to move the guy that started at left guard, Kelvin Clark, out to left tackle. This was a really nice job by Mark Murphy, the safety, who came over in that double zone coverage and went over the top to break that play up. Very good safety coverage play. Back there playing 2 deep zone, Frank, dividing the field in half.
Murphy has really come on strong defensively in recent weeks for the Green Bay Packers.
I wonder where Rodgers is. Did he get hurt?
We haven't seen him in a while.
He's going to get rusty.
3rd and 10 from the 25. Wade Wilson is the lone running back. Of course, this is in their pass setup. Todd going with the short throw underneath to Lindsey Scott, but that gets him just 2 or 3. That means they'll have to punt, and the boos rain down on the Saints from above.
What they were trying to do, Frank, is clear people out with the man in motion and then run him underneath and get him upfield. And Green Bay was in a zone defense and just dropped and let things happen in front of them, then attacked when the ball was thrown.
Now, Forrest Gregg told us if the Packers win today and get some help from the Raiders, they wouldn't be in that bad shape. But right now, the Raiders aren't doing them any favors.
No, they aren't doing it. No, they aren't. Don't expect the Raiders to do you any favors, believe me.
Ryan Hansen to do the punting.
Oh, my gosh. That thing darn near hit the top of the stadium.
Flynn at the 15-yard line is down at the 25. That almost hit the gondola, which houses the closed-circuit television up here. I think that's only been done maybe once before by Raymond Guy.
Boy, that thing was close.
It's very close to a roughing the kicker call, too, as the Packers came on strong with, I think it was Ed West, number 86.
Here he goes. He's form-fitting the ball. He gets it up there nice, hits it. Now, evidently was blocked into him by the fullback in the blocking position in front of him. No flag, no foul.
1st and 10 Packers at the 25-yard line. They're seeking to protect a 10-point lead. You think they'll run it a little bit now?
Well, hey, they're going to go with their philosophy. Here's that counter play again.
Clark caught behind the line of scrimmage. Scrambling defense. Russell Gary, number 20, and Whitney Paul, 51, collaborating.
Great job by Russell Gary. He is really getting up there from a safety position and making things happen. He's playing with a sore knee. Remember talking to him in the locker room Friday? He said, my knee is a little sore, but he says everybody else in his football team's got a sore spot in their body, too.
Well, he missed a couple of games at the outset of the year. But this time of year, everybody's playing with the Knicks. Forrest Gregg looking on. Loss of a yard on that play. 2nd and 11 for the Packers. At their 24, Dickey sending Jefferson in motion. Hands off to Eddie Lee Ivory. Ivory looking for some running room and gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. So now it'll be 3rd and 10 for Green Bay.
Good linebacker play by Whitney Paul, number 51 over there. He just pushed that thing back in the backfield and never let it get started. That's the same play that Ivory broke for about 40 yards last week, Frank.
Eddie Lee at this point has carried 10 times for 55 yards. Ellis has 68 yards rushing in 7 carries.
New Orleans defense is really playing well.
Saints with the extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10 for the Packers at their 25. And they elect to stay on the ground with Ellis, and Ellis is stopped short of the first down yardage at the 32-yard line. Well, they've run on 3rd down before, and it's been successful
and
for
made
them.
it. This time they didn't make it.
Bobby Johnson, the extra defensive back, number 34, made the stop. Word on Chris Ward is that he sprained his ankle, but he may be back in the ball game.
You know, Chris Ward's wife is the daughter of Jim Brown.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that. Hey, just a little trivia for you.
Keep me alert here.
And awake.
Jitter Fields would like to bust one right now. Saints need something to happen to get back in this ball game. Backers have shut them down effectively. Nice high kick by Scribner. Fields at the 25. Trying to cut up field, reaches the 29-yard line. And that's where New Orleans will put it in play. Guy Prather was down there quickly for the Green Bay Packers. Timeout at the Superdome.
Cadillac didn't have to give the 1985 Fleetwood and DeVille an aerodynamic door-into-roof design for reduced wind noise, but they did. Cadillac didn't have to include power windows that can operate up to 10 minutes after you turn off the ignition, but they did. Cadillac didn't have to provide more front seat headroom and legroom, but they did. You don't have to fall in love with the most advanced Cadillac ever, but you will.
Best of all, it's a Cadillac.
Who has taken complete control and placed it at your fingertips? RCA, with an amazing VCR that asks you what you want to record and when, in simple language, right on the screen of your TV. So, what you select on screen with this advanced remote control, you'll get on videotape. The world's first remote programmable VCR, only from RCA, technology that excites the senses.
You've always relied on CBS News when it counts. Tuesday night, it counts. Live coverage begins with the CBS Evening News at 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
New Orleans with a 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line, but their offense hasn't been able to get on track here in the second half. We were tied 10-10 at halftime. Todd, sideline throw, completes it to Groth, and that should be just about enough for the first down.
Personal foul, Frank. Roughing the passer.
Yep. Looked like Humphreys that time came in hard on Richard Todd, the Saint quarterback.
Yeah. The fans are reading that signal wrong. They're cheering.
So Jim Tunney will walk off the yardage. They'll get the 10 yards on the pass completion plus 15 more on the personal foul, and that will move it into Green Bay's end of the field.
Foul. Number 79 defense, roughing the passer. First down, added to the end of the run.
Humphrey immediately came out, and they replaced him with Brown. Maybe Greg trying to cool off the rookie a little.
Well, he's trying to straighten him out. That's a breakdown in his discipline right there. He knows enough when to hit the quarterback and when not to hit him.
Once again, a lot of penalties in this football game. Green Bay in double figures in that department, total of 10. 1st and 10 for the Saints at the Packer 45-yard line. Tyrone Anthony, number 22, is in motion. Todd back to throw it. Good protection. Goes long down the sidelines for Anthony. Did he come up with it? Tyrone Anthony going up with Lee and with Tim Lewis.
Tim Lewis
couldn't hold it.
Job.
Yep.
I actually thought Lewis ended up with the ball.
I thought somebody had the football and it didn't get loose.
Let's take a look at the tail end of this play now. As the ball's coming down on your screen, you see the two defenders, Mark Lee, 22, Tim Lewis, 26. They go up for it. Nobody has it right there. Yeah, it's knocked out of there.
See it much better from that angle. Anthony did actually have it for a minute.
For a second. Yes, he did. Nice shot, wasn't that? Nice shot.
2nd and 10 now. Richard Todd, 13 out of 22 for 111 yards. Saints at the Packer 45-yard line. Todd has had good protection. Spears, Lindsey Scott.
You know, Lindsey Scott, every time I see these guys play, they put him in the ball game as a backup receiver, and he comes up with a good play. Now here he is, Lindsey Scott, the right-hand side of your screen, coming off, shoulders forward, good technique. Now watch him push on Mark Lee, turns on a square-end move. He sees the ball, he goes up and gets it, tucks it away. Flynn comes in and puts him down.
That's a first down for the Saints at the 29-yard line. A 16-yard pickup on the play, where Scott came up with one of the key plays late in the game against Cleveland last week to set up the game-winning field goal. Todd again throwing quickly and completing the pass for short yardage out to 6'6" Tyrone Young.
That's a speed screen type thing where he has the option to throw the ball downfield or lay it off to the tailback. In this case, it would have been Wilson, number 30. He got the ball downfield.
So the Saints are finally moving it.
Now watch the tailback, number 30. See him going back, swinging to the right. Now the linemen are going to start to release. C60 release out there, but the ball was already thrown. They didn't need the screen.
Officials mark it at the 22-yard line. A pickup of 7. It'll be second down. Short 3 needed for the first down.
Audible.
A little bit of running room. Looked like there was absolutely nothing there, and it turned out that Wayne Wilson turned it into a pickup of about 5 yards, and depending on where they mark it, that may be good for a first down. Jim Tunney eyeballing it, says yes, move those chains. First and 10 Saints at the 17.
I can't figure out where George Rogers is. He's not injured. I don't see him on the bench, do you?
Well, now that you mention it, I don't see him right offhand. But he certainly disappeared here in the second half. First and 10 at the 17-yard line. Todd going for Young. Pass interference. Well, the fans thought, as you did, that a pass interference call should have been upcoming against Mark Lee, number 22, and Tyrone Young shaking his head, and that gesture will tell you everything he wants to tell you about the officials. There was a penalty on the play.
Yeah, the nose guard was offside, Frank. Terry Jones was offside, but from up here it looked like there was pass interference. Evidently not. It wasn't called.
That'll be a 5-yard walk-off against the Packers. Look at Todd telling Tunney, come on, Jim, call that pass interference.
Offside, defense, first down.
That'll move it to the 13-yard line.
Let's see what he was yelling about. There's 22 right there. Now watch 22 coming in and no interference right there. By gosh, I don't think there's pass interference. Good call.
Simultaneous hit looked like.
Yeah. Officials saw it better than I did from up here.
First and 5 from the 13-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. Saints desperately need a score here to get back in this game. They trail it 20-13, and a lot of movement on both sides of the line. It may have been the Saints' Stan Brock, number 67, who jumped first that time and took the shot from Carricker.
Number 67.
Now he's going to get chewed out today because his mom flew all the way in here to see the ball game, and she doesn't like the fly.
Going to get chewed out by his mom or by Bum Phillips?
By both.
That'll move it back to the 18-yard line. Now it's first and 10 again. Bum says he never wears his hat indoors. You notice that? He wears the cowboy hat outdoors, but he never wears it for a game in the dome.
Bad manners. He has good manners. Wear your hat in the house, isn't that right?
That's what they say. Jeff Groth in motion. Todd back to throw. He's got a man open and overthrows him. Had Wilson open near the 5-yard line, and Todd can't be too happy with that toss.
No, I think he rushed it. I didn't really see pressure on him, but I think he just forced the issue just a little bit there.
So that'll set up second and 10. Todd telling Wilson, my fault. We'll get him this time. Yeah. Other scores. Giants have added a field goal, lead the Cowboys in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia and Detroit are now tied. Big comeback by the Eagles in that game. And Minnesota, after trailing early, now leading San Diego over Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh pouring it on Houston. Our score 20-10. 9 minutes 11 seconds left to play in the game. Second and 10. Saints at the 18-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. Todd in trouble behind the line. I mean, that time Robert Brown, number 93, just took aim on him.
There he goes. Hey, come on, take the ball back there, son. That's his second sack of the year, Frank.
Keep in mind as you look at this.
Here he is coming off the left side of your screen over there. Now you're going to see him appear late. He'll come on around. Here he comes. Bang. He had whipped the offensive left tackle, a guy that started out as guard, number 68, Kelvin Clark. Actually, though, the play was held up. He had to hold the ball too long, and I think that's why the sack occurred.
Saints have got some big problems in their offensive line because of injuries. 4 of their 5 offensive linemen who started the year are not there now. 3 are out. A couple have been moved. Third down and 22 for the Saints, who are at the 30-yard line. Todd again under pressure, unloads it. Wilson couldn't hold it. Looked up a little bit, I think, and he saw Tim Lewis in his face.
That was a nice throw. That ball could have been caught. It would have been a great catch, you know, and you've seen a guy like Wilson make that kind of play.
Well, he needs a field goal and a touchdown to tie, so they'll see if they can get to 3 here.
Todd's disappointed. He wanted to get those points on the board. Look at him.
What a frustrating year for him.
Yeah.
They'll mark it at the 36, which would mean a 46-yard effort for Morton Anderson.
He is 5 for 12 from this distance for the last couple years.
Well, that had the distance, and he could have nailed that from 10 yards further out.
Boy, he's a weapon.
So that brings the Saints within a touchdown. Timeout in New Orleans. Sure that George Rogers was still on the premises.
Yes, here he is. Here's a guy that rushed for 1,144 yards last year, Frank, and missed 3.5 games.
Haven't seen much of him here in the second half, but being behind, the Saints have gone to the pass offense, and obviously he doesn't figure in there.
Well, he caught 12 balls last year. He's only had 7 this year. He's not the receiver. He's never caught a touchdown pass in his career.
Anderson kicking off. Epps is deep. So is Rogers. Phil Epps at the 5. 15 and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Talking to Epps yesterday, he has got to be the smallest man in the National Football League. Maybe 160 pounds. Maybe.
But I'll tell you, he can fly. He's a projectile.
Tonight on CBS, usual great Sunday night lineup. All starts off with 60 Minutes and Murder, She Wrote, the Jeffersons, Alice, and Trapper John M.D. So stay with us this evening. Great Sunday evening on CBS. Packers with a 1st and 10 at the 19, and the Saint fans trying to start a little defense chant here. As the Saints came up with the 3 points, finally got on the scoreboard here in the second half. Dickey needs to get a drive going. Sets up the screen to Clark. 20, 25, and very close to the first down at the 29-yard line is hard-running Jesse Clark. You know, that Saints defense had to be a little discouraged when they were coming off the field time after time, and the offense didn't seem to be doing their job.
You know, I looked down and watched them come off the field, and I saw those helmets hanging down. You get the feeling that they're a little bit disappointed the offense isn't doing something when they get the opportunity.
Close enough for measurement. That's what the Saints have done on defense so far this year. They're up among the leaders. But they do defense the pass a lot better than they do the run.
They allow you to complete the ball, Frank. They allow you to complete it, giving up 60% complete, but you don't make many yards after you catch it.
So Clark did get enough for the first down at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, clock moving with just under 8 minutes left to play in the game. And the Packers leading by a score of 20-13. So now it's the Packers trying to go to the ball control game here. Run off a lot of time on the clock. Maybe get a touchdown. Ivory gets nothing up the middle.
Got a headache is what he got.
That's what he got.
Got a headache.
Jim Wilkes 94 and Bruce Clark number 75.
Clark there right in the middle of your screen, number 75. I think he takes an inside move. Yes, he does. See him working down to the inside, beat Huffman to the inside. Boom, he gets his pads on him along with Jim Wilkes. They must have had a stunt where both defensive ends pinch. And they shook hands with the running back.
They certainly did. No gain. 2nd and 10. Clark and Jackson, two of the better defenders in the National Football League. Bruce Clark and Ricky Jackson. Jefferson in motion. Dickey over the middle to Kaufman. Kaufman hanging on.
Get down.
You better get down.
Boom, boom. They really tattoo you, don't they? Rapid fire contact.
7 on that play, and one of the Saints shaken up. That's the time we have left in the football game. 6 minutes and 54 seconds. And looks like Dirt Winston, number 56, may have come off with the worst of that.
Pinched his shoulder nerve, it looks like. Shaking it off. He's played a few ball games in his career, I'll tell you.
Leading tackler for the Saints. They got him for a song from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dirt's hurting right now, but he's going to suck it up and go. 3rd down and less than a yard needed for the first down. So a big play in this drive for the Packers. They lead by 7. They have the football at their 39.
Boy, this is really intense time.
Clark,
he made it.
Drives through for the first down, clears it across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and just as important, keeps that clock rolling right along with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
The right tackle, Tim Huffman, number 74, is hurting a little bit. Cook is coming back in to play right tackle.
Those changes they've made in that offensive line have paid off, certainly, with Huffman in there and Hallstrom at the guards now.
They've moved the two big tackles, young guys, into offensive guard, and it really has helped their offensive line. That offensive line is really starting to come on.
Dickey, 15 out of 28 for 173 yards.
That's a bad day for him.
It is. Kaufman has caught 4, Lofton has caught 3, and Ellis has caught 3. Ellis on the carry. He's been the leading rusher in the ball game. Stopped at about the 48-yard line.
That was a really nice little draw play again, where they invite Clark, who likes to rush hard to the outside, upfield, and they run up in underneath him.
So Ellis readjusting his hat as he gets up off the artificial turf here at the Superdome. Officials will mark it at the 49-yard line. That'll set up a second and a long 2 needed for the first down. Second and 2 from the 49-yard line of the Packers end of the field. Dickey sending Jefferson in motion. Gives to Ivory. He's got the first down. Crawls forward to the 49 or 48-yard line of the Saints end of the field. But the clock now the ally of the Green Bay Packers as it continues to roll along, showing 4 minutes and 45 seconds and counting. Saints need to get the football back. They trail by 7. Bob Schnelker, the offensive coordinator, sending in the next play with Ed West. Backup tight end Bum Phillips encouraging his troops.
Bum's used to these cliffhangers. Last week was a cliffhanger. He's had a number of them. Their kickers won 4 ball games in the last seconds with a field goal in the last 23 games played. So they're used to this environment.
Third down. They need a yard for the first. They go to Ivory.
I think they made it.
Actually needed less than a yard.
Yeah, they only
get right down to it. They're a matter of inches away, but again, we'll see where the officials spot it. Kaufman yelling to the sidelines, we got it. So does Ivory indicate we've got the first down.
You know, Frank, with Minnesota playing better today and they play Green Bay next week, that'll make it a bigger game.
Well, the Packers need everyone, and Greg has not counted them out for playoff contention.
No, he thinks they got a shot.
I mean, at 2-7?
Yeah, someone has to beat the Bears for them, though.
Well, the Bears come in today with a 3-game lead in the NFC Central. And last we heard, they were still leading the Raiders in Chicago. Well, they're going to say it was close enough for measurement, I believe, and bring in the chains just to make sure. That was a third down play by the Packers, so it's an important measurement.
It appeared to be good from up here. No?
Oh, easy.
Easy. Yeah.
First down. Packers at the Saint 49-yard line. Packers playing keep away right now. The Saints, this is only their second home game in 6 weeks.
I know. Can you imagine being on the road that much? You'd think you'd be so excited about playing here that you'd be playing over your head.
A lot of newcomers on this Green Bay team. 6 starters and 13 reserves who weren't on the club at the end of last year. Jesse Clark nose down to about the 46. Picked up 2, maybe 3 yards on the play, and again the clock ticking away in Green Bay's favor. Now we've got an official timeout.
Overtime. Eagles in Detroit, 23-23. They really have made a comeback.
Well, they've gone strong. Eagles won 3 of their last 4. Finally got derailed last week. And trying to come back with another victory. Winston is coming off the field. He was shaken up a little bit earlier, and now his hand looks like it's going to need some attention. Dirt Winston, University of Arkansas Razorback.
You know, I didn't like my linebackers to wear all that tape on their arms because I really felt when they had their opportunity to make the pass interception that it interfered with them catching the ball, because many of those guys don't have the great hands, so they cradle the ball, and I've seen many times the football be deflected with that hard tape and everything wrapped around their arms.
2nd and 8 for the Packers. They've got Lofton split out right at the bottom of your screen, and Jefferson set in the slot just inside of him. Ivory and Clark are the setbacks. And they stay on the ground. Eddie Lee for the first down. Breaks it up the middle down to the 32-yard line, and that, of course, gives him the first down, keeps the clock running, and Whitney Paul may have been shaken up. In fact, looks like they've got two players down right now. Johnny Poe, number 25, and Paul getting up very slowly. Poe is still down.
I can't use it right now.
We'll show you that play in just a moment or so as Poe is being attended to at the 32-yard line. And this may be a little serious. Let's see.
Take a look now. Watch the quarterback reverse pivot, hand it to the halfback, and he breaks it right back in that hole nicely off Huffman's block. And the center's block, Larry McCarron, does a real nice job. We meant to show you that on the telestrator, but the telestrator broke down just as we went to use it.
Well, Poe being tended to. We've got a timeout in New Orleans. We'll be back in just a moment. It's number 29 to replace Johnny Poe at the corner position. As we head back to play, the Packers have a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line of the New Orleans Saints. The clock moving with 2.5 minutes remaining in the game, and the Packers up by 7. Dickey handing to Ellis. Got a block from Clark leading the way, but right now Packers content to play ball control. For an NFL Today report, here's Brent in New York.
Frank, we've got overtime at the Silverdome. Paul McFadden, his 3rd long field goal, 41-yarder, 2 52-yarders earlier, and the Eagles take the Lions to OT. They're tied at 23. Detroit wins the flip they have just received. Back to Frank.
Always scares you to death when you lose that flip, doesn't it, in overtime, huh?
It does, but you know, stats show, Frank, that it's about 50-50, really, your chances of winning.
So many times it seems the team that loses it never sees the football again. Coming up on CBS next week, another doubleheader. Packers go against Minnesota or New Orleans against Atlanta in the first game. And in the second half of the twin bill, depending on where you happen to be, you'll see Walter Payton and the Bears go against Eric Dickerson and the Rams, or the Dallas Cowboys take on the St. Louis Cardinals. The two teams going into today's action tied for the top spot in the NFC Eastern Division. Right now, the Cowboys are playing catch-up. They trail the New York Giants, according to our last report, 16-7. So it's not inconceivable that the Giants could be involved in a first-place tie after this weekend. Forrest Gregg sweating this one out on the sidelines as the Packers come up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, 8. Now the Saints did use the timeout to stop the clock, so that leaves them with 2. 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. Dickey staying on the ground. Eddie Lee Ivory, no more than a yard maximum. And let's see if the Saints use another one here. New Orleans calls time, which will leave them with 1. Well, they got the miracle last week with no timeouts left. But they're going to need more than a field goal here. Saints, if they get the ball back, need a touchdown just to tie. So Bum Phillips trying to figure out how to get this one into overtime. Bum in his 10th year as a head coach in the National Football League, is 4th with New Orleans. He is also the 8th coach that the Saints have had since 1967, which may be one of their problems. 2 minutes left in the Bears-Raiders game, and Chicago is leading 14-6. 3rd down, 7. Packers at the 29-yard line. Ivory did not get the first, but moved it down to the 24. So now, if the Packers elect to go for the field goal there, they're looking at a 41-yarder as we hit the 2-minute warning.
I think they're going to go for the field goal, Frank.
2 minutes left to play in the game. We'll be back in New Orleans in just a moment. Forrest Gregg has made his decision. He'll go for the field goal here with Al Del Greco, who has been perfect. He is now 5 out of 5 as a Packer field goal kicker. He's 2 out of 2 in the afternoon. Not missed an extra point.
You know, he kicked 5 out of 7 in the preseason for the Miami Dolphins. I'm surprised somebody didn't pick him up sooner.
42-yard effort for Del Greco. This could make it virtually insurmountable for the Saints. Up, long, good. Del Greco one more time, and a lot of the Saints fans start to head for the exits.
Watch this guy. You remember I said Forrest said he's really sort of an even, calm guy? If that would have been many of the kickers in the league, they might have done a headstand or a flip or some kind right there.
Officially, they credit him with 41 yards. That's his second 41-yarder of the afternoon. And the Packers lead it 23-13 and seem now en route to their second straight victory after 7 straight losses. Keep in mind the Saints have just one timeout left to work with. So they are deep in a hole.
You really have to give Green Bay defense some credit there. Dick Modzelewski and Herb Patera and Ken Riley and Chuck Pfeiffer, they've done a good job of preparing that defense today, Frank.
And Bub Phillips a little disappointed the way things have turned out. His Saints have been able to generate just 3 points worth of offense here in the second half.
You know, and with the comments made by Stabler, it's going to be a little bit tougher on him this week.
Well, the Packers don't look like they're winning over there. The reaction from Schnelker and Gregg, they look like they're still in for a ball game. Well, Stabler said that the Saints didn't work on their passing game enough. He thought they were too conservative, too much on the running game.
Well, it's the way it goes, Coach.
Makes you wonder. Anthony, the rookie, at the 8-yard line, back to the 15, 20, 35, up across the 40 to the 46-yard line. However, there is a penalty marker thrown back at the 20-yard line. So that may wipe out virtually all of that return by Tyrone Anthony. It's usually in the spot where you get the clip or the blocking.
Pushing from behind.
Pushing from behind. That's what it was.
No, penalties are up 13% right now going into the 9th game of the season, or 10th game of the season, over last year. And a lot of them, I think, are within this kicking game penalty area.
We've seen that penalty called so many times this year.
Illegal block during the run back, number 45, half the distance of the goal line, first down.
It's on Tim Wilson, number 45. See if he can pick it up here.
Here he is at the right corner of your screen now. He's going to get over there and get a block. Yeah, he did push him from behind. He extended his hands and shoved the man down. He can't do that.
Well, talk about a rotten field position. How about starting on your own 6-yard line with 1 timeout left and 10 points down with 1:49 to go. Todd, nothing he can do but try to throw it out of the end zone. Another flag is down as he completes it to Groth over the middle, and nice secure tackle over there by Mark Lee, number 22. Stopping Groth at the 23. However, there's a flag back at the 5. Hold everything.
Green Bay is in a loose prevent 3-deep defense.
Illegal motion will wipe out the gain, bring the Saints back once again.
The Saints came into the game averaging 8 penalties a game, and I think they're over that right now.
Illegal motion, number 67, half the distance of the goal line, still first down.
Stan Brock picks it up. Several games now final. San Diego's put another lump on the Colts. Cleveland rallies to beat Buffalo. They're still winless. And Houston the same way, still looking for the first victory as Pittsburgh wins big. Our score 23-13. Packers leading the Saints. 1:40 to go. Half the distance to the goal, moves it back to the 3. Todd, all the time in the world, out to Groth, who steps out of bounds at the 14-yard line. About a yard short of the first down. Jeff Groth, fine possession receiver for the New Orleans Saints. Well, Todd's passing yardage hasn't been there. 146 yards total on 16 completions in 26 tries. He's been trapped twice. And the Saints down to their last timeout, as you can see, with 1:33 to go.
They're lining up all receivers to one side, Frank, and then rolling out behind them and working combination patterns. You can see them now lined up at the top of the screen, all 3 guys.
And Green Bay playing that 3-deep zone back there to make sure they don't get the big one on them. Again, Groth, the intended receiver, goes down hard at the 25-yard line and fails to hang on to the football. That stops the clock with 1:27 to go. Groth was at one time an 8th-round draft pick of the Dolphins back in 1979 from Bowling Green University. Stay tuned right after this. Our post-game show upcoming with scores and highlights.
You know, he came here via Houston as well. He went Miami to Houston, and Houston to New Orleans.
Kind of a pipeline here with Bum. A lot of these guys came through Houston. Here's Todd on 3rd down. Throws up a prayer. They tried to get it to Tyrone Young with his great leaping ability and that 6'6" height. Tried to get him to see if he could out-jump everybody. But it didn't work. So that'll set up 4th down, and I guess nothing lost here by going for it.
Nothing lost.
Again, a reminder that the post-game show is 1 minute and 18 seconds away. Scores and highlights upcoming. Some interesting things happening around the National Football League on this 10th weekend of play. Hard to believe there are just 6 more to go, and then it's on into the playoffs. Packers just sitting back there in that 3-deep zone. 4th down. They need actually 2 for the 1st down, and they'll run for the 1st to Gaijan. He'll pick up the 1st down at the 20. They have 1 timeout left. They can use it now, or they can use it later. But in either case, being down by 10 points doesn't seem to help you much deep in your own territory. Todd has all day to throw it. Finally gets rid of the ball. Hits Hokie Gaijan at the 23-yard line. And the clock keeps ticking. Update on a couple of scores for you. Chicago has increased their lead, and Tampa Bay, Minnesota.
We got some tight ones going on this weekend.
They're tied late in the game. 2nd down, 7. Todd, sideline throw. Hokie Gaijan gets out of bounds. Stops the clock at the 35-yard line with 34 seconds left. Hokie got to get untied there. He's wrapped up in the coach's phones.
You can see that they are dejected. Look at Hokie. He is such a competitor. Really disappointed.
Now this would move the Saints to 4-6 on the year for a team that had, strong playoff aspirations certainly at the start of the season. And the Packers would go to 3-7 and returning to Milwaukee next week to take on Minnesota. We'll see them again in a couple of weeks against the Rams. Greg may want to keep us around for a while after last week and this week. Todd again going for Tyrone Young. Jump ball.
He has that 6'6" frame. He might as well lay it up there to him. You're usually instructed in that situation, Frank, if you can't get the ball, to get up and bat it in the air toward one of your teammates.
There was a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage. The penalty is going to be against the Green Bay Packers. .27 seconds left.
Number 38, defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
Estes Hood, who is the nickel back for the Green Bay Packers, guilty of the illegal contact, carries with it an automatic 1st down. Saints are at their 40-yard line, and a lot of the faithful have long since departed.
Now that they're fleetful.
Yes. First and 10 from the 40-yard line. Todd intercepted. So the turnover to Mike McLeod, number 28, the defensive back.
The fans cheer the interception. Listen.
Well, it means they can go home now, officially, I guess. I don't know.
Can't you believe that? Most of them have gone home, but they stand up and cheer the interception. He tried to get the ball down the seam there to the big tight end and just couldn't get it.
So disappointed Richard Todd will complete his afternoon with 18 out of 33 for 163 yards. 2 interceptions, and there's the happy Packer bench. Dick Modzelewski, the defensive coordinator, congratulating his troops as they come off the field. Of course, Bum won't change. Win or lose, he'll be the same this week.
Yeah.
And the players love that about him. He doesn't rant and rave like some other coaches. Nobody in the booth here, but
don't look at me when you say that. You're a dirty guy. That's all in the past.
But on the other hand, you take a look at the Saints' record, maybe they're better off with a guy ranting.
Here's a play that I would vote if I were in coaching to eliminate from the game. God, I can't stand this flop-on play. It's nice to be in the situation to do it, but it just doesn't look like a part of football.
And the Saints don't bother to use that final timeout. The seconds tick away, and Forrest Gregg has his 3rd victory of the season.